Not spotted him.
And he goes jumping in. Amazing round. Great hat trick from Taz.
He flashes in and casts the ultimate. Luna, 20 health left. Oh no, she will flash. The shield
so
clutch.
Oh, a blink into all those units. An amazing defense. Champion of the Intel Extreme Masters.
So guys, welcome back here to Gamescom. And you may have noticed that I kind of broke everything there in the 2 minutes that I was sat down. But luckily we've got it all fixed again, it seems. So that's good. So we're moving into the next game. Obviously, it's the first round of Group B. I hope it's a good game because that one on stage then was absolutely terrible.
Yeah, it was a shocker.
50 minutes and level gold.
55,
What's that all going on?
Yeah,
ridiculous
gold,
game.
Team fight could have turned anything. You know, really. And I just spoke to both teams after that game. I'm sure people watched it. You know, Fnatic were like, oh, well, you know, we put them in the situation that, you know, if they took Baron, we'd take their base. So SK were like, well, we could have possibly took Baron and lost the inhib and won the fight, but then would we be screwed anyway because we got super minions coming up at us?
Yeah.
They just put them in an unattainable position. Like they said we could not fight them in the jungle. So they kind of got caught halfway around, halfway between, which just completely screwed them. And you know, it was a great game.
Well, we're moving on to Frag eXecutors versus CLG. Obviously, Frag eXecutors coming into this group with a name that everyone's not even talking about much, actually. And I think that really helps Frag eXecutors. I mean, they were Adversa before FX picked them up. Obviously, the FX name in terms of esports globally is actually pretty big due to their Polish Counter-Strike 1.6 team, which obviously are one of the big dogs in Counter-Strike. So they're carrying a big name with them into this tournament. It's their first LAN, technically on the big stage, so there'll be a bit of pressure there, but the fact that they're in the harder group and the team that no one's even looking at may just work in their favor. It is, exactly, and
nobody's going to know these guys better than Shushay. He plays with them in the World Cyber Games Polish team. You know, I forget what the team's called now, some like crazy weird name, but he is part of that, obviously, because the World Cyber Games is all about national matches. So he's going to know these guys well, but CLG won't have a clue. They are coming into this one blind, whereas Frag eXecutors have probably really done the homework on these guys, on CLG. They're going to have watched all the International Extreme Masters China qualifiers last week, so they're going to know exactly what they're doing, and immediately we're getting straight towards the ban. So Frag eXecutors banning out Nidalee, obviously aiming straight to Hotshot GG. Orianna being taken out by... interestingly, by CLG. I kind of would have thought maybe Orianna's going to stay in there, but Vayne getting taken straight out, so obviously, I guess it's aiming at Big Fat GG, because Big Fat GG is going to be the AD carry now for them, with Sols in mid, and Sols is something we need to talk about, because Sols, he is Mr. Reliable generally in mid. He has been a fantastic player in the American scene for as long as I can remember LoL, really. And there we go, that's an American ban right there. So Frag eXecutors taking Fiddlesticks out of it. It's and Gangplank being taken out. So kind of the bans we've seen here, other than Vayne, are pretty much what we've seen throughout this whole tournament so far. So pretty standard stuff. Nocturne, I was about to say, was the other one that gets banned normally. However, this time Frag eXecutors have picked him up.
Yeah, they've taken him first pick, obviously, going to stick him in the jungle there. I have to be honest, I've not seen Adversa play, I don't think ever. Maybe we've seen them once, but I can't remember ever watching them play. So I'm interested to see how they come into this one. Like we've said, there's a little bit of pressure on them coming into this tournament in terms of they're carrying a new clan tag, and that could turn interesting. Now, we've seen the CLG first picks comes out. Alistair, obviously, the first one, and Jax will be locked in there as well. So interesting first two picks.
Yeah, wow. That's all I can say. Is Hotshot GG really going to be taking top lane with Jax?
Possibly.
Okay, right. I had a discussion with Sols yesterday, and he said, Hotshot GG can only play 3 heroes. Jax was not mentioned in those 3 heroes. He said, we played a game, and he was like, yeah, I can play Kennen, I can play Kennen. And like by the end of it, they were saying, you're the worst Kennen I've ever played with in my life. I feel like I'm in solo queue hell. What am I doing here with you? He can play Nidalee, he can play Cho'Gath. I forget who the third one is. He mentioned, but Jax definitely wasn't one of them. So I'm interested to see how this one's going to work out. Sandfish is picking up Alistair. That's kind of a standard thing. I'm not too sure. Will he be a jungle Alistair? Jungle Alistair does work, obviously, with his change had recently. There we go. Bottom lane being picked straight away. Caitlyn, Soraka immediately going bottom lane. Pretty standard stuff there for the European teams. pretty standard lane. What's Salt's going to go with? What will be the AP he'll go with? I'm thinking Annie. I've seen him playing a lot of Annie.
Yeah,
he might
I
go in
think Annie
India.
as well.
Or Brand. It's got to be one of those three, I think, at the moment. Malzahar used to be really, really popular. Had a few tweaks, but there's nothing like nerfed out of the ground. Ah, of course,
Zillion.
It's America. Zillion all the way, isn't it? So Salt's going to be playing Zillion in mid. That's going to be a strong one. And Big Fat GG returning to Ash. That's what he was known for before World Cyber Games. He was the Ash carry. Until Chowster came along, he was like the main man.
Yeah, and that's going to be great to see Big Fat GG back with that Ash, and well, he's not locked in yet, so maybe he has a last-minute change just to get our hopes up for that one. Yeah, but I mean, they went for that Jackson Alistair first, which kind of left the AD support open, unless obviously Alistair's going to be the support for CLG. That remains to be seen with their last pick. But you know, they've got that Ash in there. That'll give them a nice, comfortable position. Imber and Ismaro, their two picks were Soraka and Caitlyn, and we come down to the final two Frag eXecutors picks. So we're going to be seeing who will take the mid and the top lane solo.
Yeah, and what will Frag eXecutors go with now? Because they're going to see this nowhere like Zillion, really. But, you know, if they've done the research, they'll know that the fact that Zillion is a strong centre. And if you've seen the videos, Big Fat GG on Zillion is scary. I don't know whether... I mean, Sauce is going to stick to it. Sauce is the AP carry. That's what he's come here for. And Big Fat GG is stuck with it. So I think they're going to stick with those heroes they've already got. So, Carthus going to come out. So it's going to be Carthus mid versus Zillion. I'm not sure that one's going to work out too well. I've got to be honest, that's pretty scary. Wow, okay.
Or Nivea mid.
Okay, so that puts Jax versus Carthus top. Carthus has no hit points.
Yeah,
Jax can jump and take half his hit points. You go,
but I don't know. I mean, it depends what CLG go with for this last pick in terms of, is it just going to be another pure support in there? We're going to see Jano, we're going to see something else, or is Alistair going to be that support? And it looks like Alistair will be that support. Lee Sin in here now, so yeah, I guess we're going to be seeing Lee Sin hit the jungle for CLG.
Yeah, so that means, I mean, Alistair is going to roam. It's what we saw traditionally in DreamHack, I believe. We saw a lot of roaming Alistairs before, obviously, he became like the AP god that he is. We've seen some incredibly strong Alistair, and he was banned pretty much for the rest of the tournament. As soon as they saw Shushay playing him, like, no, thanks, we're not having that.
And then it changed to Gragas.
Yeah, and then he changed to Gragas, and they went, oh, okay, let's ban him. We've got to ban both of them now. And I was blown away by Fnatic today. I've got to be honest, I was incredibly impressed by their performance. We came into this one. I personally, myself, I had SK top in the group with CLG second.
Yeah,
which meant I had Team Solo mid facing CLG in the semis and SK facing Millennium in the semis as well. But, wow, you know, that it may still happen. Who knows? Fnatic are going to play Frag eXecutors and CLG yet. But getting that win under their belt against SK is such a huge step. And it's going to be the same for Frag eXecutors. They know this is their chance. They have to, I mean, come into the, look at it from their view. They've got nothing to lose in any of these games. They can just go for it. You know, they're no slouches. They are the Go for LoL winners just last week. I think they won it. They're kind of regularly winning it over there. Actually, I think that might be the first one. They got knocked out in the third round by some random team before.
Yeah.
Which kind of upset them. And they, you know, but they said, you know, you can't learn from winning everything. You can only learn when you lose
sometimes.
Yeah. So they went away and looked at it. So there we go. We've had a little switch around. So Elements is going to be playing the support down in the bottom with Big Fat GG. Kind of expected. Clairvoyance and the Flash. Of course, he can flash Pulverize, get a massive headbutt going. Go crazy with their bull cow horns. Salsa in mid. St. Vincent's going to be jungling. Hotshot GG up top. I think it's going to be versus Kubon. Kubon on Carthus. Let's give it the name check to the guys as well, because we haven't really covered those. So Frag eXecutors, it's going to be Alvaro on Nocturne. Imba in the bottom down on Caitlyn with Soraka, who's going to be Ismaro. Kubon is going to be, I guess he's going to be top. You never know. It might be Nivea top, but I just don't fancy Carthus versus Jax or Zillion. I've got to be honest. I'm not sure how that one's going to work. However, Kubon on Carthus will keep Hotshot away from the farm because he's going to be like putting the layways down. He's going to keep him completely away. And again, Anivia is, I think, is the slowest hero in the game to beat against Zillion, who can just obviously speed himself up, go zip, bomb, bomb, rebomb, and just rewind and go, oh, I bombed you again. And then just walk away and say, yeah. damn him. Meanwhile, on CLG, you all know the names. It is Hotshot GG, the man who's probably had his photo taken so many times throughout this event on Jax. Saint Vicious in the jungle, Salsa in mid, Big Fat GG and Elements down the bottom on Ashe and on Alistair. So, I mean, Joe, what are your thoughts, your predictions?
Well, you've got to say CLG right out of the gate without, without really any thought behind it. Just in terms of the powerhouse that they actually are against a team which is relatively unknown. Obviously, the only team to come from the Eastern European servers as well. So,
and what's important to note is, unlike DreamHack, where CLG sort of came into it, big, confident ego, we got this one, there's no problem, we can take it easy. They've practiced.
They got slapped down and they know that they have to prove something.
They've come into this, they have practiced, they are ready for this tournament. They are not coming into this one thinking, we're going to win it easy. They are confident. Hotshot was actually asking me, because I said, he's like, what time are you going to be here? Well, I was like, well, we're getting here about 20 to 8. Do you think they'll let me in at 8 o'clock? I want to practice.
Yeah, I heard that as well.
Wow, this guy's taking it serious. So, let's see how it's going to turn out. That's the question. And really, who will be top lane? I'm interested to see who's going to be against Jax at the top there, because I can't see either of them working. And Nivea could kind of get control, but then that puts Karthus versus Zillion in mid, which is kind of horrible. I guess we'll see who's going to be the first time. And more to the point, will we get a team fight at the start?
Maybe. Yeah, the whole thing that Frag eXecutors got nothing to lose here might mean that we see some very risky play from them. I mean, they pick up one win against Fnatic, SK, or CLG, and they've just pulled off a massive upset, whichever way you look at that one. So we can see the FX right now not looking like they're going to go for anything too crazy. We've got Nocturne up here in the top side of the river. CLG are actually starting to work their way around towards that tri-bush there, down by the bottom lane, so that could be interesting. And actually, we got the Clairvoyance going off there as well, so CLG in a very forward position, Demon. This could prove to be an interesting early start. Yeah,
and the Clairvoyance just showed the entire CLG team, so I know they've been kind of covered. I assume that was their Clairvoyance. They didn't... it does actually show up the wrong colour, I believe, on this one. In fact, I'm not sure which one it was that showed up the wrong colour. There we go, ward going down, so they're going to steal the red almost certainly here. It's going to be a lizard buff steal, and they need, exactly, the pin's going down. They need to be very careful down the bottom there. They're just crossing over. I think they seem to be oblivious to the fact that CLG have completely invaded their jungle. So they're pinging it, they're thinking, should we go for theirs? Frag eXecutors are not used to this. This kind of thing doesn't happen in Europe, and it might well catch them out. Here we go, so they're actually stealing the golems to start with, which is going to be double there. So Zillion bomb going on towards Jax there just to get that extra damage straight on there. He's just going to back away. So they're actually going to completely steal the jungle, complete invasion. It's going to put Nocturne in a bad state. He's still waiting for the blue to spawn. There we go. So they're in the traditional method that you'd get, say, even in just a solo queue, standard jungle path. Meanwhile, they've taken the red and they're just leaving. They've taken the golems, the red. They may even go for the wraiths. They're going to pick any wraiths up on the way back. No, they're not. Hotshot's going to run straight towards the top there. Hotshot using, is that Pax Jax he's got? I think it is.
Yeah.
Which, unfortunately, us Europeans can't get. Unless we, I actually asked the questions like,
unless we cheat.
Can we get Pax Jax in Europe? It's a long way to go to get a skin. I mean, they normally cost about £5, but to spend like a 500-600 quid flight at cheapest is a long way to go just to get a skin. I've got to be honest. But we may well see that soon.
So we've gone down into that laning phase now. Obviously, after their little invasion in the start, CLG have gone back in there. We see Solsei actually putting fairly early pressure on Nika. He's got that buffer in terms of if he does get out of position and does end up dying, then he's got the whole egg thing going on, which is really going to help him. Up at the top, we can see it. Kubon is up against Jax, which of course is Hotshot GG. So we'll have to see how he manages to hold on to this one. So far, his layways not being all that perfect. Down at the bottom, we have Elements just waiting here in the bush. They've warded up the bottom side of that bush, and as you can see, the trap just gone down there from Caitlyn as well. So both of these sides down at bottom playing fairly cautiously, especially when you've got someone like Elements in there. You don't want him jumping out and surprising you.
Yeah, so Hotshot's had a little trouble farming. It's kind of predictable. The early few levels, he will have this until he can really get a bit of health up, as it were, and start really moshing these. Oh,
this is really bad in middle from Nika. He's actually come out there. He's burnt off his flash, and he's going to die from this bomb. He's going to get egged from the bomb at least. And we saw Nocturne actually starting to move away there. Saint Vicious is actually chasing in on him. And obviously, Alvaro will get out of that one. So Nika's egg burned on level 3. That's very early.
Yeah, that's not good for him at the start. And like we said, he's very slow moving. It's one of the slowest moving heroes in the game. Against the Zilean, it's going to be horrible. Meanwhile, down the bottom, you can see Big Fat GG's chipping away at Imber on Caitlyn down the bottom there. And Hotshot GG's actually had to use a health potion already there. Kubon had them forced to tower, but he has gone with the boots to start with, as has Kubon actually. So trying to put the layaways. I guess Kubon's just trying to guess his predicted movement really. Meanwhile, down the bottom, we can see Alvaro is just getting in position. He's going to back away. He's getting spotted, so he's going to happily just back away there. Imber's got to be careful. Why does he just walk straight into an arrow spray there? And you got to stick behind those mobs when you're playing against Ash, especially when Big Fat GG is going to go, oh, 3 damage. I'll take that.
Yeah, we're actually up at top. We're seeing Lee Sin starting to move, and this is bad news for Kubon if he doesn't realize quick enough. And actually, he is going to flash away. Missed there from Lee Sin, which will allow Kubon to escape back onto his turret, and that will be all safe up in that top area. Clairvoyance has just been dropped out. Where did that one go? I can actually check with... Yeah, okay, so we missed it. There we see actually a flash in, so we are seeing the pressure. Great headbutt there onto Imbu, who actually flashes himself away. Net goes down, which obviously propels him back in towards safety. Ismaro was a little bit slow on the heels there. And, well, it's still a nice move either way from Elements to push that fight that far and close enough to a kill.
Yeah, I'm a little bit worried for Kubon up top, I've got to be honest. Hotshot's starting to farm quite happily. He's not really been hit by much of these late wastes, and it's not been doing a great deal. He's just got their boots, he's just dodging away from it. I think he's kind of expecting to predict it, and he's getting a lot of CS as well, as we said. So he's actually ahead of Kubon at the moment in that CS, and you can see he's already got the jumping straight in there. Gets a nice counter strike. He just built up a counter strike. The minions have just hit him, which is why he built up that counter strike. Jumps straight in, immediately stuns him. Meanwhile, I can see Nocturne trying to get himself in a position, but Lee's just kept him at bay there. But yeah, I think that's just going to happen over and over again. We're going to have to be really careful to watch that one. We've still not had the first blood, remember. It's going to be quick to spot it, because I think when it happens, it's going to happen very quickly. CLG are very good at roaming around the map once they get confident and comfortable, as it was. You can see the blue just being passed over towards Zilean. And I guess we're going to have a similar to Nika. I'm not too sure, actually. Nocturne's gone. No, he hasn't even then gone back and spawned it yet, though. It's because he started in a different position, of course. Yes, they were much slower. At least it's trying to get his position. Look at that bomb. Just keep going on towards Nika. Nika, we can't see. Actually, yes, we can. If I double-click, I think we can see them. Whether he has... Come on, double-click, you stupid bird. Oh, it's not letting me see it. Anyway, but you can double-click and you can get the items. I just got to get used to this damn spec mode first.
Hey, no damn spec mode. We've got it now. Yeah,
it's good godlike spec mode.
So, big stack of minions actually just powering away on this middle turret. And Nika obviously can't get too close in there to Solsay, otherwise he's going to end up taking a ton of damage. And there goes Solsay again, just sneaking one in. Obviously just boosting himself right out. Actually, both from FX just went back there. We've seen Caitlyn pick up boots plus the second Doran's Blade. And actually a Vision Ward picked up there. Yeah, up at the top. We are going to see Hotshot GG coming in from the side. Slowbar actually goes down, and Hotshot GG decides it's not worth pushing in any further than that one.
Yeah, meanwhile in the mid, Solstice just getting slowed there. He managed to get caught as well. And is he going to get the fear proc just by the tower? Yes, he will do, but it's not close enough. Managed to land the speed buff, so he's quite happy with that one. Solstice backs away. Remember, he's obviously got his ulti. He can just protect himself from that one. Meanwhile, Karthus has been sent packing. And he's going to go by he looks like he's building up towards... Oh, and then the arrow lands in the mid there. Nika manages to get the bomb. Will he get the rewind in time? He doesn't quite have the mana to do it.
Oh,
he's flashed in. Why did you just dive? Surely Alvaro's going to catch him. Could it be first blood? Salsa does not. Oh, the ulti from Karthus. Will he finish him off? It will do. And Frag eXecutors get the first blood. Kubon, nicely done there. And wow, Salsa's going to be feeling a little sheepish for that. You know, first game for his new team that he's stepping in for Jouster, and he gives first blood away.
Yeah, and I'm not really sure what he was thinking there, to be honest. That was super ridiculously risky.
Well, he flashed in to do the rewind, but just went, oh, I've not got the mana. Damn it.
Probably should have looked at his mana bar before he went in for that one. Actually, we see their Elements just moving down into that bottom bush. Did get the walk straight into the trap. And obviously, that Karthus now is starting to build up. As he hit level 6, that's where we got that first blood from. Hotshot GG is actually, is he going to start to push in here onto maybe just put a little bit of pressure down? No, not quite. They're going to continue to farm. So let's have a look at the CS then. 46 to 55. So Hotshot GG is actually slightly above there in that top lane. Down at the bottom, Caitlyn 62 to the 49 of Ash. So that advantage is over with Frag eXecutors. And obviously FX do have that first blood. They are actually only about 300 gold in the lead, which obviously comes nicely from that one, as Lysian also comes in for a bit of a peek. And for me, Nika can just play defensive in this one. Farm up, play defensive. He doesn't need to be looking for those kills until he starts to get Nocturne into some great gank positions.
Yeah, Kubon just being jumped on there, and you can see the damage it just does to him. Just one single jump can knock him down. And at the moment, bottom tower is actually being pushed quite well by Caitlyn and Soraka. It's kind of expected. They are very good pushers. And, well, Big Fat GG's not panicking. He's just farming away quite happily. You know, the fact that Kubon got that first blood, it actually gave him blue buff, which is kind of backfired a little bit for Hotshot. However, Hotshot is not worried. You can tell by the fact that he's just bought a pickaxe to start with. He's not gone with any magic resist, didn't need the Mercury treads, didn't bother with that. So he's just like, you know what, this guy's not really doing a great deal towards me. I'm just going to start building my damage, possibly going for Ginsu's early on, or Hextech. I'm not too sure what he's going to build really early on for Hotshot. And to be honest, I'm not used to seeing Jack's top lane.
Yeah, certainly not. It's not something that we see very often, especially not in Europe, actually, at least recently.
But Millennium.
Millennium did it as well. I mean, Jax is actually pretty damn strong at the minute, so it's not really that big of a surprise, but it's only recently that he's actually come a little bit more into play. We're actually seeing elements here just getting rid of that vision ward. Obviously, an expensive ward to be losing in that kind of position. There's Big Fat GG actually down at bottom, clearing out what was left that he could on those minions. And Kubon just trying to control this top lane a little bit more, try and have a bit more freedom over Hotshot GG. And if you look at the items, Hotshot GG already got up onto that pickaxe. I'm going to keep my eye down on the bottom lane, because that's where it's probably going to be kicking off. Up at the top, we do have, Catalyst and Protector finished now for Kubon on Karthus.
Absolutely. So Hotshot GG building up the transfer. I'm just wondering whether he's going to try and jump on Kubon if he steps that little bit closer. He already has the stun up, but it's gone now, so he's not going to bother. Looking down the bottom, you can see that they're continuing to farm quite happily down the bottom. Remember, Big Fat GG, well, he would have played Ash quite a lot. He's not played it in a while in competitive matches, but they are pretty even in CS, 80 to 75, so that's pretty straightforward. Even Nika at the moment, just trying to hold position and really maybe thinking he can try and get a gank. They're thinking possibly Dragon here. You can see they're just clearing the wards out. Soraka comes up, clears the ward. Can he get a steal on blue? Oh no! The wall actually pushed away. He did steal it, did he?
No.
No, he had it already. No. I think actually the wall just like
pushed him out.
Yeah, he should have gone straight in with the stun. And meanwhile, down the bottom, you can see Elements has actually not really roamed much. He's just stayed as the standard support. You can see St. Vicious is there. Oh, the arrow actually missed. Pulverize does land though. St. Vicious goes leaping in. I think Imber's going to get away with this. Meanwhile, you can see Big Fat GG now in trouble. Karthus also proccing his ulti. The fear stun lands. Will he manage to get Big Fat GG down in time? That's the question. The snipe going out. Elements blocks it nicely. Nika comes down, but I don't think it's going to be enough. Salsa's also coming out to protect. We've got a 4-on-4 there, and immediately Kubon gone in towards mid, pushing on towards mid. Jax is having to clear out top. So we've got 4-man push down the bottom lane here. Frag eXecutors are playing very well. They are working well as a team. Big Fat GG's had to go back, had to heal up, and they're going to continue to put a bit more damage on this bottom one. But so far, they are looking strong.
Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised that, there were still 3 of them there, I guess, so maybe not so much of a surprise that they didn't go straight in for Dragon, but that would have been a perfect opportunity, I think, to actually move back and take that down.
Bottom turret's gone.
Here, yeah, this bottom turret is going straight down, to be honest. Frag eXecutors have done a great job, and they're going to pick up the first turret kill of the game. You see Salsa just bombing those minions away. Him and Big Fat GG looking to actually push this middle tower down. This is going to be the Dragon pickup surely for Frag eXecutors. No, they're going to make sure that CLG back away from this middle turret before they go in anywhere near that. The wards are actually down. There goes a halt shot from Big Fat GG, so they know that Frag eXecutors were over there. And we are going to see Caitlyn Imber go back here. Up at the top, we are getting pressure in. Kubon gets exhaust off onto Hotshot GG, and that will allow him to get back to the safety of his turret.
But yeah, Hotshot GG now stepping up now. He's got that Bush Cutlass. He's doing a lot of damage. He's just had control of this lane, and he's 96 to 95. CS-wise, he's pretty close. To be fair, Kubon's also got that kill. But unfortunately, I think he's going to lose his tower unless somebody reacts pretty quickly. You can see Nivea coming across the map now to try and head him off, but that's going to get a lot of damage. You can't let Jax just start beating on your tower like he is there. He's going to just dodge the way of the stun, and again, he's just chipped it down to 800 hit points. So that bottom tower, top tower, sorry, is going to get chipped down low. Imber, meanwhile, has returned to lane because they're continuing to push it, so it's perfect position. He's like, okay, I can farm the minions on my own lane, that's fine. And CLG at the moment, I think they've been caught a bit nappy by this. I don't think they were quite expecting such a tough game first on.
Yeah, and that's the thing. You just can't afford to do that. You can't afford to underestimate any team in this tournament. We've got such a great lineup, and especially in Group B, which is by far the group of death if you're, you want to look at it that way. In terms of the bottom lane, by the way, we've seen already BF Sword picked up for Ashe. Caitlyn obviously went for Berserker Greaves and then Pickaxe first. So a slight kind of change in build order there. But they'll be headed pretty much the same direction anyway. If you look at the CS between those two, 105 for Caitlyn, 94 for Ashe.
He's just left the top tower. He's just ported away in vision on top tower. Hotshot's thinking, well, fine, I'll have the top tower. Top tower is now gone. CLG going to take their first tower down. You can see Carthus already backing away. And Hotshot GG is starting to pick it into nice farm mode, it has to be said. Big fight down the Dragon, though. CLG going to go for the Dragon. They will back out of this one. They are really worried about Frag Executors here, Joe. They were not expecting that. You know, they've got the ward down. Will they just come back? Yeah, you can see they're hanging around. Remember, Ashe, arrow is going to go in. Will it catch? No, they all flashed out of the way. Nicely done. Just sidestepped it, completely expecting it, and still, Dragon is not there. It's the usual fight. Meanwhile, you can see down the top lane, the Hotshot GG continuing to push while all this happens. But I think Frag Executors are going to have to back out of this one. They've lost quite a bit of health. I don't think they're in a strong enough position to maybe take it. Soraka has been split from the rest of the team. She needs to get up there and get the heals going. Meanwhile, Jax continues to farm.
Yeah, and it's really dangerous to have not just a Jax, but Hotshot GG.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, such an amazing player, having that free reign, and that's something they may have to kind of remedy here. Element's just trying to sneak his way out, maybe get the pulverize off and cause some problems in that middle area, but Solsei is actually just farming his way to glory. Actually, 105 to the 82 of Anivia, so that middle lane well and truly in favor of Solsei, despite, by the way, his first blood given away.
Yeah, and he's gonna feel for that, and it's still the only kill of the game at the moment. He's gonna feel he needs to look at that. It's gonna be a cheeky bomb on Kuban. Kuban tries to put the slow bar down. Doesn't matter. He's gonna get the rewind in there. He's got the rest of the team coming around. He needs to be careful. He doesn't give the second kill away. Fear will proc. They're going to dive on him on the tower. Will they have enough?
Dead.
Yes, they will. No, he managed to get the ulti off as the Fear proc finished. Elements in there to cover him, so well played. Almost the second volley. I think he literally, but he's been stunned again. Yeah, Elements having to come to his rescue here. Salsa is not having much joy in the mid lane. Oh, in the meantime, Elements has been caught out napping. Having to proc his ulti. I don't think he's going to get away with it, though. He is going to go down. The second kill of the game. Whoa. It goes to Nika and Elements now. Wow, Kuban low. Needs to be careful. Going to have to back away from that one. Big Fat GG's ulti could have actually finished him off. But Jax continues to push top lane. It's incredible.
Yeah, and he's going to continue to do that there. And, you know, they kind of a little bit underpowered in middle now at CLG, but as you said, Nika's just doing a great job of farming. Hotshot GG doing a great job of farming. Actually, look at the damage he's putting in there onto Nika. Finally, Dragon. CLG are going to go in there and have them a Dragon, most probably at least. Ashe actually does have Pickaxe now as well as that BF Sword. We are going to see 3 from FX moving in. They are going to finish off that Dragon in time. Vicious just dashing out. Ashe Arrow put down defensively, and that was brilliantly played by CLG there to get that Dragon and get out without losing pretty much anything.
Yeah, meanwhile, Hotshot GG just continues to farm. He's just a farming machine. He's backed away, and now he's thinking, you know what, I could have a go at Nika here. I'll jump on him, he's going to lose half his health in the first hit. Karthus, meanwhile, is going to continue pushing mid, and Kuban may get this tower because CLG are a little slow to react here. He has got the almighty Soraka.
Oh, up top though, Nika is getting the pressure on. Oh, and the wall was too far off. And we'll see if Hotshot GG can finish him off before that rebirth does pop up once again, and he was close enough, and that will be the kill for Hotshot GG. And that's just going to, I'm pretty sure he's got a massive smile on his face right now.
Yeah, that's the first kill for CLG, and, you know, a much-needed kill. Meanwhile, you can see Big Fat GG's going to have to back away. Nocturne coming around the back. Souls continues to push. He's got blue, gets eats a tower hit in the process. And look at Jack, he's just continuing to farm. This is Hotshot GG. This is what we know him as with Nidalee. He'll just stick in that lane, carry on farming. So you guys carry on your fight. I'll put the pressure on. And it really distracts the team as well. It works, and you can see it keeps pulling over one person or two. Don't worry, I'll deal with it. And it's causing issues for the rest of the team. He's going to cut across. Will he be able to get in on towards that base tower? Yes, he will do. The mid tower is going to go down. You can see Jax coming around. He's actually stealing the jungle now. That's just really, really rubbing salt in the wound. Just so you know what.
A second ago, he was 2 levels above everyone else. His farm is ridiculous, almost 20 above everyone else as well in terms of CS. Plus, he's just picked up that kill as well. So, you know, you let Hotshot GG get into that kind of position, and he's going to absolutely destroy you a little bit later on. Here we have Imba just trying to defend this bottom turret. Not sure how long he's going to be able to hold, although there are not many minions hanging around there, so should be able to defend that one quite easily. And Ismaru is coming back with Soraka there as well.
And there it is. He's bought the Hextech Gunblade, so he's now got a lot of damage on him, Jax. So he's been farming very well. I guess we're going to start seeing him joining some of those fights now. He's continually putting pressure on towards that inner turret. The mid turret is also very low. And at the moment you can see them, looks like Anivia is going to try and come down the bottom here. They were thinking maybe going for a kill, but I guess Big Fat GG is going to continue on. He has no mana for an ulti, so he's got nothing to defensively keep him away, which is why Elements is just standing around looking menacingly as a cow does, really, instead of a steak joint. At the moment, though, Salsa is continuing to farm. CLG are in full farm mode here. Yeah, it's what they do best, and it's what they can continue
Take a look
doing.
a little bit further north on your map. Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
they just started knocking a
well.
couple of hits off onto Baron, and Vicious nearly actually die into it. And FX have just gone up there, dropped a ward right in front of it, so that'll give him a bit of vision. But Hotshot GG, surprise, surprise, is back in that top lane, and he's continuing to get more and more gold. He's just hit level 15 as well. The closest over on the FX side is level 13, and that is Kubon. It looks like they may be able to get this mid tower though for eXecutors. They've got 3 there, only 2 to defend, and that mid turret will go down. So in terms of the turrets, 2-1 for eXecutors still lead. They also lead, of course, 2-1 in the kills.
Oh, and Hotshot GG may be in trouble there. Now he's already sensed it. He's backing straight off. You can see the whole team coming over to him, but that's pulling him away. And if the whole team follow him straight over there, that's going to leave the middle tower open, which is why they've had to try and defend it. It's also going to continue getting the bombs on it. Nicker also getting the arrow down. Pulverize goes in. Will the headbutt land? The bomb will not finish him off. Soraka just keeping him alive, but I think that's going to be the mid tower going down almost certainly. The rest of the team going to have to come across, and again they are thinking of returning to Baron, really. They're going to have another go at it. I'm not too sure. They may go for a 20-minute Baron. The rest of CLG starting to stack up here. They're going to steal the blue instead. So now they're starting to invade the jungle. As Daniel said in the previous game, once the team starts to invade your jungle and steal all your buffs, you know you are in trouble. Bomb gets the steal there. It was Salsa, and CLG going to back away from this one, and correctly so. Mid turret, though, is still continuing to be only at just a 500 health. Pretty big stack down the bottom. The tank unit's not joined them yet, though, and looks like CLG going to all go by. However, Hotshot stays.
Hotshot stays and continues to farm up to 170 CS now, 175. Yeah, he is actually 20 above everyone else on the entire team, and that's above the AD carry, who's, you know, had the entire bottom lane for free. So amazing, amazing play so far here by Hotshot GG. He's just sitting around in this bush. Yeah, he's decided to back away now. I think he saw Nocturne coming up as well, so that'd be the reason why he decided to back away from that one, not to stick around for too long. Ping's going off there, and Jax is just going to check around. Ward's going there. Actually, there's a ward for both teams in this tri-bush as well. So there's a little bit of vision up there. Elements are starting to roam a little bit more as well, and sticking a few more wards. And you can see the ward placement for CLG, kind of typical for this Baron here. One in this bush, one here up at the top side. You know, there are some defensive ones put down as well from Frag eXecutors, so that could be the saviour for them if they manage to hold on to this one. That mid turret has continued to take damage from the minions that push through there. And we'll see now how FX are going to deal with this one.
They're on it again. CLG are coming around again. Hotshot GG tanking it this time. I don't think they're going to quite have enough damage. Remember, Baron actually builds up hit points as he goes. Remember, he has that Hextech Gunblade. Oh, St. Vicious just pulled aggro. He didn't want to do that. No, they're going to have to abandon this one. They need support. He's not going to be able to tank it. Hotshot could tank it, but St. Vicious managed to pull aggro. There we go. It's back onto Hotshot now. Oh, St. Vicious is
Effects have got
struggling.
no idea,
They
by the
have
way.
no idea. But then again, I don't think CLG have any idea. St. Vicious is doing it best. Their Hotshot has pulled aggro. I think they're going to be able to steal the power, and they will do. Amazing. They are oblivious to the whole situation. And now they're all going to come down. They're surely going to push mid. And Frag eXecutors is just like, what just happened? They did not expect that. CLG could, just going to collectively back away. Oh, Soraka needs to be careful there. He's going to get caught out. What was he doing in that situation? And as well, Exhaust goes down. The rest of the team are going to come around the side there. Salsa does manage to get a stun. Hotshot GG joins the fight. That's going to be Carthen's exploding. Carthen's ulti's going to go off in the moment. You can see Alvaro is trying to get away. Big Fat GG has the slow on him. St. Vicious survives with absolutely nothing. Rez goes on him, and he actually killed himself, so he knew that Rez would come back. That's going to be the mid turret. And wow, just wow, 4 for nothing there. CLG stealing that early Baron with a Hex deck. Lee Sin and the Jax combo. It's just incredible stuff, Joe.
Yeah, and just when Frag eXecutors thought they were actually doing pretty decently there, I thought, and then all of a sudden the buff comes on all those guys in the middle, like, oh, yeah. So they came in from the backside, which obviously they didn't ward, they only warded the front of it, which was a little bit of a mistake from them. We're going to see CLG back away, get a bit of extra gold, why not, while they can, from this dragon. And then we may just see them start to push in. Let's look down the scores here. Hotshot GG, 301, 190 CS. And wow, just absolutely amazing so far. Ash also is 102, so no deaths so far over there. And really, Frag eXecutors, in all fairness to them, the early game didn't look bad for them whatsoever, but that whole kind of situation there where CLG have just really excelled themselves is very, very dangerous going forward now in this one. FX probably need to play a bit more defensive, I think. Yeah, the hawk shot going out for Big Fat GG, just like ping crazy. They're all in the jungle. I think the top tower is going to go down here, and they're going to surely switch up to it. Karthus is pushing it. Arrow goes in. Hotshot's going to dive on him. No, he's actually walked into the trap, but he doesn't care. He's going in there anyway. He's actually alone versus 4. Where's the rest of CLG? Here we go. They're going to get themselves in there, and now FX are in all kinds of trouble. Nocturne trying to get away. Double bomb. Nice slow down from Nika, and they managed that one kill. That's not going to kill. Oh, God. They didn't really make any attempt to block that ulti there whatsoever from Caitlyn. Look at Salsa just boosting his way in there. Bomb onto Nika. Second bomb's going to go in there as well. And Nika pretty much down to half HP before he even knows what's going on. He's actually going to have to flash away in there. Surely they'll finish off. And, well, Egg kicked into the base. But it doesn't actually matter whatsoever.
And they may well take the tower here. I'm not too sure who's tanking it. Elements is in a little bit of trouble here.
Doing nicely.
Elements had to use his ulti, but they're going to be able to keep it at bay. Yes, they will do. Jax jumping away. And really, that was all about targeting Jax. Obviously, when Nocturne's hitting him, it's triggering his counter-strike, so he was unable to stun the entire team, with the rest of the team caught up, despite the fact he took a lot of damage there. Obviously, using the Hex Tech, his lifesteal he's got from it, and really just managed to just stay alive long enough. CLG really stepping into their own. Will they go down towards the bottom tower? Doesn't matter. The minions are going to take it anyway, and they have taken well, they didn't really go at that tower as much as possible. Yeah, they're just completely stealing all the buffs. The Baron is probably about to wear out, but it doesn't matter. They've managed to clear the entire jungle. So now, Frag eXecutors, like you say, they were doing brilliant at the start. It was all working well. They got the first 2 kills. They were looking strong, but they were not expecting CLG here.
No, they certainly weren't, and that Baron obviously is just a massive factor in all of this one.
They're going to tank the turret, I think.
Yeah, I think they can afford to. I mean, actually, we see FX starting to work their way in a little bit closer as well. Obviously, slow bar going down there from Kubon just to try and keep them at bay. There goes the Ash Arrow. Let's follow it down. It's not going to hit anyone. They're all there around that turret. So, let's see what CLG have planned. They've still got a little bit of time left on this Baron buff. They've got a decent amount of minions in there as well. And Salsa, who's, damage onto the turrets is far from ideal, but still chipping away. Good wall in. Slow bar was there as well. Salsa will boost himself away from the fight. Doesn't want to be in any trouble of going down. Is his ulti up? Yes, it actually is right now. So Salsa has that bit of a bonus that he can keep anyone alive who may be on their way down. And CLG will back away now, but they've stolen so many buffs. You see Jax does have a lizard buff. Ash has a lizard buff. Blue is on Salsa as well. So, just looking so strong right now, CLG.
Hotshot was just like, come on, I want to take the turret. And then the rest of the team were like, no, we need minions. No, come on, we can take it.
Let's go buy.
Yeah, all right, okay. He's got his Ginsu Rageblade as well. He's got 201 CS. Looking at the rest of the team, you can see that Caitlyn is pretty strong, as we said. Almost got the Zeal completed now, along with that Infinity Edge. Infinity Edge on Big Fat GG in comparison with the Zeal and Berserker Boots already, as well as the Berserker Greaves. Let's have a look at Nocturne. Nocturne's gone from Wriggles, Ninja Tabby. There goes the Zeal completed now on Caitlyn as well. AP, let's have a quick look at the AP of these guys. You can see that Cubon on 158 and Nivea meanwhile on 176. Let's have a look at Zillion. Zillion 217 already, actually about to go by, so whether that's going to go even higher, no it won't do, it's going to be a couple of wards. So being the good player that he is, he's gone to ward up, he speeds himself up. Let's have a look around the side there. Meanwhile Jax has been back aboard. A bit of armor, and I think he's going towards the Guardians, isn't he? Yeah, it looks like he's building towards the Guardian. I'm not too sure. And Guardians on Jax right now would just be horrible, because you kill him and you're like, God, it's took enough to kill him. And
then Zillion ulti.
Yeah, as well, exactly, yeah. It's pretty horrible right now. So I think CLG kind of have this one in the bag. They've turned it around so fast. They've got a 10k gold advantage, and Baron is probably due in, I'd say, about 2 minutes. I think it's a good 2 minutes. It's only just run out at the end of that last fight.
Well, FX, as you can see, they're playing super defensive. They know they've not got much choice. The wards all nicely down here, all covered to make sure that they can hold on to this Baron area.
Yep.
We do have Elements there as well, who's been clearing out. Does have the Oracles. We've seen Big Fat GG just hanging around in the middle area. Probably just be first one, obviously, to spot anyone coming out, plus keep his farm going. He's actually not so far behind Hotshot GG at the moment. Caitlyn is actually around about equal as well. Does have Infinity Edge, Zeal, so working on probably towards that Phantom Dancer. Obviously Infinity Edge and Phantom Dancer are already finished for Ashe. And CLG hanging around this middle area. We are going to see the Ashe arrow going in. It actually misses completely, but we are going to see St. Vicious actually moving in there. And we see the field proc in there on Nocturne, but it looks like we are going to see Cubon going down. They need to get out of range, prevent all that damage coming in onto them. Ulti comes out. Is anyone going to go down? Big Fat LP. Oh, and they actually got there. The ulti off from Zillion. That's going to keep him alive. Fear will not quite happen. Hotshot GG dives in there. He is going to go down, but is it going to be any worse for them? We actually see the ulti coming off. Surely that's a kill. Yes, it is. Obviously, the ulti was used earlier from Zillion to keep Big Fat GG alive. And yeah, this is Baron or just give up the game right now.
That worked so well as well. I mean, Frag eXecutors going to be happy with themselves, and now Alvada's going to start it off. Can they get Baron? That's the question. Ashe and Lee Sin are alive, but they've got no help. Big Fat GG is just going to hang around and see if he can steal it, I think. He's going to know, he's going to bide his time. Possible hawk shot, possible spray, I'm not too sure. Whether he's got is, he doesn't have the arrow up at the moment, so he's just trying to keep them at bay. They are all very low, so he could well possibly get a steal in there. You can see Lee Sin tossing
running away.
Yeah, well, they've got to, because, you know, see how Big Fat GG could easily kill one or two of them there, and they've had to back away from it. That's unfortunate for Frag eXecutors, but also clever play from CLG to keep them at bay. Element's going to clear that bottom stack. Look at this, Big Fat GG's. Oh, and he's going to go in with the arrow. That's just cheeky. It's not, I'm not going to get the kill. I'm just going to troll you. I'm just going to back away. So, wow. I mean, that's kind of a little warning to CLG there. You're not unbeatable at the moment. You can lose a fight. They kind of got caught out quite badly. They're going to pick up the Dragon quite happily down there. But it's not over yet. Frag eXecutors really could have done without Baron buff there, though.
Yeah, for Frag eXecutors, that Baron, I think, could have made the difference in this game. I mean, with that Baron, we could have seen them push on because they've not been bad in this game. Besides some great moves from CLG, this game has actually been fairly even. I mean, yeah, now it's 10k gold advantage for CLG, 5-9 in terms of the overall score. But Baron's in position. Both teams are now able to set up for it. We're seeing CLG just getting buffs left, right, and centre. We'll see Sote taking, of course, that blue buff. Nocturne just moving in there, taking a peek out. Will ward inside of Baron this time. That's always a good thing to do after last time. I think they learned the lesson from that cheeky Baron pick up the last in the last time.
Yeah, at the moment you can see Phantom Dancer being complete by Big Fat GG. I'm happy to see Big Fat GG on Ashe. I've got to be honest. It's like when I was first watching LoL, that's what I saw. It was Big Fat GG on Ashe, just killing everything. Absolutely destroying everything. That was the World Cyber Games qualifiers. In fact, it was against Team Silent Mid, wasn't it? They played that epic game.
Yeah.
They qualified. And the rules have kind of changed this time for World Cyber Games between these two guys. In fact, they've merged teams, as it were, because obviously Canada are competing with LoL as well as America, because it's become the official game. And it's another tournament to come, but we've got so many stops of Intel Extreme Masters LoL matches. The LoL esports has just really took off. St. Vicious is going to get a fear triggered on him here, but I don't think really need to be that worried about it. The rest of the team, meanwhile, are going to come around the backside. Hotshot GG has been exhausted, so he's not able to do a fat lot. He has got the Guardian Angels, though, so he's going to rest straight up there. Nika is going to go down, but the rest of Frag eXecutors not doing a bad job. Wow, look at Karthus getting destroyed by Big Fat GG there. Wow, he's just going to get another kill down now. Karthus ulti, will it manage to claim any victims? No! They were so close. Just needs a little bit of damage. Oh, wow. That's a team ace. A full team ace. Wow, just so well played by St. Vicious and co there. They just pulled them away while the rest of the team came around the back, caught them in a full split, and I think Frag eXecutors were like half-heartedly executing that attack, and then just like, oh, this has gone horribly wrong. I think that's going to be the game for CLG. They are going to take the first one. And, you know, Frag eXecutors put up a good fight here. It's enough to worry the likes of certainly SK, who need a win right now, and Fnatic, who obviously just picked up a win. They knew damn well that this was going to be a hard game. But CLG, they're also looking pretty strong. And it just goes to show you can't leave Hotshot GG alone on top, especially when at Jax. But, I mean, any player that's on Jax, you cannot leave them solo free lane.
No, certainly not. And we're seeing now the Baron obviously being picked up. CLG not the healthiest, but they'll take this Baron down fairly quickly. And before I think anyone from FX can get anywhere near them to challenge for that one, it means that they may not even go home. Okay, they are all going home, as I say that one. They are a good 13,000 goal in the advantage. Obviously, 2 out of 2 Barons they've picked up. I think every Dragon as well. Yeah. Every single Dragon so far in the game. So, you know, that in itself just makes a huge, huge difference in terms of things. Let's have a look at the individual scores, because that's what a lot of people at home like to see. 7-1-3 for Jax, obviously Rageblade there, Atlas Impaler, the Hextech Gunblade, just amazing position for Hotshot GG to be in. Definitely in his comfort zone this game. 109 on Lee Sin, 129 on Zillion, 408 on Ashe as well. That's a powerful score. And 124 on the support, of course, of Alistair. Over on the team, not looking so rosy. But I'm not going to go through them, because FX, you know, they've played well in this one. They've showed some promising moments, and I think Fnatic and SK need to have their eyes open. Yeah, I mean, you've got to question maybe the picks at the start. We said it at the start. We wasn't sure how either Nivea or Karthus would deal with Jax. It turned out that it was going to be Karthus up the top there, and he kept up the farm. No one dealt with Jax, so that was the problem. That's the problem, and once you let him get that distance, he wasn't really having any problems from the early levels, and really prior to level 6 is the only time you can really harass. I don't think they're quite ready for this one. I think he may get caught out. Will Lee Sin be able to catch him? No, he will not. He's going to back away. It doesn't matter. The tower's going to go down regardless. They're going to continue pushing in towards the base here. Remember, the middle inhib is gone down, so they're going to have super minions coming at them. They've managed to build up a reasonable stack to defend it. But, you know, with Baron buff, with Hotshot GG coming leaping in and almost taking half your health in one single swing, they're going to get straight in there. Counter-strike triggered. That's going to be Karthus going down. Hotshot GG straight away on towards Nocturne. The res going onto him. He had got Guardian Angels as well. That's going to be 1, 2, 3 down. At the moment, FX are just about hanging on. The tower's going to surely finish off Frag eXecutors. Oh, and they better take down Hotshot GG. He's going to take down Alfado just before he goes down. And wow, Big Frag GG is very low. So Frag eXecutors came out of that one pretty well. It was a very ballsy dive. It was with Baron buff, but CLG just still have the 2 to continue pushing. They just don't know when to quit, when to give up on the tower. Nika has no mana left. That's half the problem. He can't do anything about this. Big Frag GG is going to pick this tower up along with St. Vicious. And wow, take the inhib as well. A desperate fight. And it's just still not worked for them. It's unbelievable. You know, you can win a fight, get 3v3, as it were, 3 kills for each, and you still lose the tower in here. But that's just unfortunate. Yeah, and bottom turret's going to go down as well. An absolute massive stack down on that bottom turret. That's going to be finished off here in just a matter of seconds. Obviously, we've got super minions coming in top. We've got super minions coming down the middle, and those are really going to start to add up against Frag eXecutors as soon as we see CLG get back in position and start to push their way through to try and finish off this game. Yeah, Big Fat GG's got a pretty strong build and has yet to die. Big Fat GG, still no deaths for him. So we just saw it with Ocelot on the main stage, went 12
1-6, I think.
Yeah.
He died just at the end in the final fight, but I don't think Big Fat GG's going to go down here. 4-0-11, got himself Banshee's Veil, also building up towards a Bloodthirster. As if he's not doing enough damage already. He's going to do a bit more, and he's coming around, going to steal the red, so he's just fully invading the jungle now. He's going to take that red, like a 740 crit in easy. And, oh, Kaelin's coming around. I think he's going to take it, but yeah, before it returns, that's cheeky. That's just cheeky. So, CLG at the moment, they're making it drag. I can imagine. We saw this with Team Solo Mid. They couldn't quite finish off the fight early enough. However, they topped the group and beat Millennium. And, you know, from a point of view, what we've seen already this morning with Fnatic and SK, how strong do you think they're going to look towards them? I mean, it's coming up next, I guess. It's CLG versus Fnatic or SK. I don't know. It really doesn't matter. They're both going to build some games.
Fnatic against Frag eXecutors is the next one.
It's all staying on this stage, by the way. The rest of LoL, the rest of Group B, so don't go anywhere apart from maybe the toilet.
Yeah, please don't do that where you're sitting.
It might start smelling in here.
So we're seeing CLG pushing down this bottom lane right now. You can see obviously that Frag eXecutors are at the end ready and waiting for them. As that Ice Blast didn't actually do anything. Ah, there we go. Guardian's Angel is finally up on Hotshot GG. So a couple of revives he can get out onto himself. And Solse as well. And they're going to push in that inhibitor. Did respawn. I actually didn't see a notification. I don't know if we see notifications, but they're going to dive in for the kills anyway. Obviously, Cartha's first target goes down. Ash Arrow comes in onto Imber. Hotshot GG just chipping away. Actually, both turrets smashing away at Immers as well. They're focusing now over onto Nika. We do see Nocturne go down. Nika flashes away from the fight. And CLG, I tell you what, they're not not unharmed from this one. Big Fat GG's low. We see Salsa actually having to use his ulti to keep him alive. Hotshot's just charging in there. Does have Guardian Angel, so he can afford to go down. They're going to dive straight in on Nika. Egg is finished off. In fact, that's where the kick should have gone before. Hotshot GG's into the fountain. Obviously doesn't get the kill, but it was pretty close. And they're going to focus in on this Nexus, and that is going to be GG. CLG are going to pick up their first victory of the tournament over Frag eXecutors, and that leaves us with a Fnatic and CLG tied for second place, and SK and Frag eXecutors third and fourth tied place. But 2 games down in the group stage, still anyone's group. Absolutely anyone's group, and CLG, SK, CLG, Fnatic to come, along with Frag eXecutors, which I don't think are any slouches there. They put up a good performance to start with. They got a little bit caught out by a 20-minute Baron, really. They were just, you know, and it was a 2-person 20-minute Baron as well. Just Saint Vicious and Hotshot GG going in there, so it's working well. And really, you know, catching quite a few people out. You know, who was expecting Jax, really, from Hotshot GG at the top there? It's like, you ban Nidalee, you just expect him to go Cho'Gath. That's what he does. He's done, yeah, he's obviously played brilliantly there. And yeah, as you mentioned, like halfway through and at the beginning as well, the whole Karthus or Anivia, those are the 2 that were going to be going up against Jax. And both of them were going to have a hard time. I mean, it showed there that, you know, Karthus never really got into the swing of things. 255 actually is 209 CS against the 247. Obviously, we've had a really long game for what it was there, I'd say, as well. Yeah. So you can't really look at that too much. But there was a point where Hotshot GG was the highest farm player in the game. Yeah, really early on as well. Yeah, really early on. You just can't let that happen. So you just got to wonder whether that was the pick. I didn't really know what was going on between them, thinking Karthus is going to be a good pick versus Jarvan Jax, sorry, at the top there. I guess if you'd started landing the layaways earlier, you'd kept him at bay, but you're playing against Hotshot GG, you know. He's not got all this fame and all this trolling that he does, you know, for nothing. He is a great player, despite the fact he's got his knockers. That sounds a bit wrong. he's got his knockers. He's got people that like to knock him and say, oh, you know, you can only do this, you can only do that. And you know, I said it at the start of the show. I wasn't quite convinced, but he's proved himself. The question is, can he prove it against Wicked? Can he prove it against possibly Soaz at Millennium? Can he prove it against Shushay, as it were? You know, these guys that are the tops that they're going to come against. I don't know how good a player Kubon is. I can't say that I've seen him a great deal. We've not seen a lot of Frag eXecutors. I know Nick is the captain, and you know, they did okay. They had their moments, but it just didn't quite work for them. They were caught out by a pretty random tactic, it has to be said. And you know what? SK and Fnatic are going to see that, and they're not going to get caught out by that, that's for sure. No, and as we mentioned, it will be Fnatic who will have the job of taking on Frag eXecutors next here on this stage. So don't go anywhere, guys, because you will lose your seat. There's that many guys here in the audience as well. And I guess we're going to be taking a little bit of a break here, Demon, while Frag eXecutors have a few minutes to talk about what went right and what went wrong.
Yeah.
And then we shall be coming back into the game. I actually forgot to turn the camera on the whole time, and we're looking at the after-game scoreboard. But it's all good. We see the scoreboard. That's all nice.
They don't want to see us. I mean, really?
No, actually, yeah, that's true.
You've straightened your hair. It's all right.
Actually, I got wind blown outside, but what are you going to do? Yeah, so we'll be back in a few minutes, and it will be Fnatic versus Frag eXecutors. Obviously, Fnatic can go 2-0 if they pick up victory against the Poles and pretty much seal themselves through into the semi-final. So don't go anywhere.